Hello, 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 beautiful. This is OKeba Anahata Ra, coming to you with, I don't know if you want to call it feminine flow or just some words. I want to actually speak about something a little bit different than what I'm typically talking about in some of my videos. I'm sitting out here getting a little bit of sun. The weather's starting to change, but sorry about that helicopter overhead. The weather's starting to change, but I love getting in the sun. And especially those of you who have darker skin, make sure you're getting your sun. Make sure you're getting out there in the sun. As the winter starts to approach, get out in the sun as much as you can, right? Yes, absolutely. We love the sun. So, but anyway, I want to speak about something. My husband sent me a video the other day about a sister, and she was responding to some comments that others had about a video that she put up, which she put up a video talking about black women, and she speaks oftentimes about negative attitudes and excuse me, being loud and rowdy and just, you know, very untasteful behaviors and unfeminine-like behaviors that a lot of women, a lot of sisters display, and so that was kind of her response to it. And I've watched like one or two other videos that she has that my husband also sent to me, and he mentioned to me about you know, it reminds me of some of the videos that you used to do. Those of you who don't know me very well and you don't know my channel, I used to have a video and I used to talk about some of those things. I used to speak about some of the attitudes that black women have and being loud and boisterous and all of that, you know, and I took a similar kind of perspective and slant that she had on it, which is to critique and criticize and come from that perspective of it. But that was over 10 years ago for me, and I've decided to take a different approach on some things. So with my videos, what I focus on is getting women to look at their femininity, women, specifically black women, but to hone in and to cultivate their feminine selves, as opposed to saying, don't do this, don't act like that, you're acting like a man, XYZ. I'm saying, here's ways to cultivate your femininity. Here's ways to cultivate your spirituality, because that ties very much in with your femininity and with your womanhood and with the energy that you bring forth here on the planet. And as black women, as the mothers of civilization, this is what you bring to the table. So the femininity and womanhood is a big circle that fits in a lot. And yes, you can be assertive, you can be aggressive, you can be all of those things, but I speak more so about cultivating that femininity and that spiritual side of yourself, which helps to radiate a more beautiful side of yourself. So I commented, but we were talking about the sisters' videos, and you know, he made some comments to me about it, like, you know, maybe you should speak about this, and I'm like, been there, done that. And you know, first off, I think anybody can speak about certain things. We all have an opinion of such, but I'm at the point now where people, if I think that it's for other people looking and watching, I think it's important to see results, right? To look at the fruit that is born in someone else's life or bore in someone else's life before you allow them to advise you on things that you're doing or things you should do, right? You got to look at it. At the time when I used to speak from that level, I was newly married. Our family was not as big, and I was just getting into that. I'm gonna step back a little bit from this camera. I was newly married, and so I've had to learn some things over the years. I've had to learn to learn to find my voice a bit more, and I did learn that sometimes you have to be a little bit more assertive or aggressive, not ugly, not wretched, or any of that other stuff. You have to learn a little bit more. So let me not go too far on that end, but let me speak about just some things that she was talking about. One of the things she mentioned is that when women act like that, when they're acting loud and rowdy and all of that, they're making all women look bad. That's a fallacy. That's not true. That's not true. And you know why? You know why I'm telling you that's not true? How you present yourself as a woman, as a lady, in every place and space in which you go, you are going to be judged as an individual lady. Yes, people will see you. They see a black woman coming, they see a black woman coming. But how are you dressed? How are you attired? What's your hair like? What's your, you know, you wearing long eyelashes. You doing all of this extra stuff that women who have a tendency to act a certain way might do. Are you character typed? Are you following the character type? Are you using all of the trends? Yeah, you might get a judgment beforehand. But that's why I say find your own style, find your own flavor. Let it be feminine, let it be tasteful. No, people are not going to judge you a particular way. I don't have those experiences where people try to treat me as though I'm some loud, rowdy woman. Right, without even opening my mouth, I'm communicating with them for what type of woman I am, how I walk in the room. I let them know. They're already seeing it. And then when I do speak, I'm speaking from a perspective. I'm always mindful of how I'm talking and where I am when I'm talking and the things that I'm saying. And so whatever thought they may have had in their mind about, oh, this is a black woman, yeah, she's going to be, they have to quickly check it because they say, oh, that's different. How they see me interacting with my children, oh, she's sweet, she's smiling, oh. You know what I mean? You get very different responses from people when you come off differently. So no, just because somebody else is acting wild and raggedy and all that stuff, that doesn't make all the black women look badly. All right, that's the first thing. That's the first thing. The second thing I want to say about that is something my husband asked me. He was like, well, why do women act like that? It's just, I don't, they doing all of this stuff and they want a man and everything. And my response to it, I said, well, my opinion, it's 2 reasons why. The first reason why sisters do that is because, number one, because they can. They can. There's nobody there to say to them, don't do that. This is not as the way a lady should act. Or rather, let me say, there are people who say that, but the people who are saying it are not people they respect. Okay? You have to have some level of credibility to be able to say certain things to people, to sisters, and they take heed to what you're saying. Like in this situation where I'm speaking about, the sister, I know she means well, bless her heart, bless her heart. I know she means well, but she's single just like the rest of them. So how are you showing anybody that what you're talking about actually works if you're also single just like all the other women? And I mean that as no disrespect, but I mean that as sisters are smart and sharp and they look for results, right? So if you're telling me something, the very next question I have is, how has that worked for you? I remember a lady was selling a book about marriage when my husband and I were really young and everything. And I asked her, how long have you been married? She wasn't even married, but she was selling a book on how to act in marriage and things to do. I'm like, okay. You know what I mean? And at that young age, I knew that. That was in my early 20s. I knew that. Not to follow the advice of somebody who hasn't even walked in those shoes. So I'm not saying that no one can tell you anything, no one can teach you anything if they haven't walked in those shoes. But today is the time, it's of information, and we need people to also show and prove what they say they know, what they say they do. If you know how to flip houses, you know how to make money off of flipping houses, how many houses have you flipped? How much money have you actually made? You know what I mean? Over here on YouTube, we have so many people who are just talking and talking like they're experts, and they sound good, but that doesn't mean they know, that doesn't mean they're able to show and prove what they know. Okay, so that's the first thing. Number one, like I said, the reason why sisters do that and why they act that way is because they can. There's nobody there to check them who they actually respect and look up to, right? That's number one. The second reason why they do it, this is still my opinion, is because it works. It works. It might not work all the time in a relationship situation. It may not help them to get a man in a relationship, but in all the other arena where black women find themselves seated, being assertive, being straight to the point, being, like they say, what is it, straight no chaser kind of women up front, being direct, all of that part of a lot of black women's personality works in every other arena. And believe it or not, it does sometimes work in relationships. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Because in some relationships, think about some of the things you've heard some men say. You'll hear comedians talk like this, and you might hear just brothers around the way. Oh, I better not do that because my wife there, she'll go off. Or nah, I can't say that to my woman because she's right. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Because she has already shown him that she will act a plumb fool if he disrespects her in the wrong kind of way. So it actually does work, right? But people don't want to hear that, and I know that don't sound too good. Let me be really clear. I am not trying to encourage sisters to act loud and boisterous and rude and overly aggressive and to think that they're all this and a bag of chips and everything, which I do believe that black women are a lot. We are very special beings. You know what I mean? We don't have to be so egotistical about it, but quite frankly, yes, we are truly divine beings in walking flesh. Absolutely, that's what I believe and what I know. We are the mothers of civilization, okay? But let me step down from that high horse a minute, because everything else is all a reflection of that, and we're all divine beings in divine right? So we don't walk around with that chip on our shoulder, and we don't, or that ego on our shoulder, you know, pumping our nose up at other people. There's some humbleness, and there's a beauty in humbleness, and that again is what I try to demonstrate and show them in my videos, and helping you to see in my videos as being a woman, as being a lady, and that you make the choice as a woman when you're gonna let that bitch out when it might be necessary and needed. I think that is actually a stage of development in a woman, when she learns how to control that, and when she learns how to use it at the right time and the right times to get certain things that she needs and wants. Okay, I think, wow, I just had a post that came up on my video. I won't speak about it, I'm sorry. A post came up on my video about Mike Tyson. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, and speaking of which, so it's talking about this thing. So when I talking about black women, when I said to him that it gets results, let me talk about the other arena. It gets results. Like my husband and I were both teachers. We were both educators. And we knew, I'm going to tell you, that sister mom that came up to the school and was like, listen, and she came up there about her child, oh, everybody knew to treat little Johnny a certain way. They knew to, that's such and such child, go on, give that baby what he needs, etc., right? Her child will be treated the right way. So she, not that the other children are treated poorly, but you know what I'm talking about. That sister that comes up there at the school irate about her child, she's getting results. She's gonna get results in how they treat her child. If she's at a store and she starts fussing and complaining about things, she's gonna get results. If she's out and about and somebody's acting rude and ignorant, she's gonna get results. The fact is, a lot of things dealing in the black community, unfortunately, too many of our people do not have good manners and upbringing and training. They do some unbelievable things, and the deeper in the hood you go, the more unbelievably inconsiderate people are in the stuff that they do. So you have to defend yourself. Black women have to defend themselves. They don't have brothers there helping them to defend themselves. Most black women are walking around and having to do everything by themselves, or they have other women who are assisting them. So what good would it do for them to be all weak and timid? Right? The weak and timidity is not the promotion here. And I'm not saying that being soft and gentle is weak. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that strong, assertive personality type comes from living in an environment where you always have to be on guard, because people will take advantage of you. And when I've spoken to sisters who are like that, I have some in my family, and I've had friends and associates, they be like, because they make me act like this. That's exactly what they will say. That's what most of them will say. My mama act like this, and the others will say, because they make me act like this. I act like this because folks make me act like this. They don't act right. They will treat you wrong. They will spit over your stuff. And you got to check people. You got to check them because they will do you wrong. And it's the truth, though. It's the truth. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. It shows the degradation that exists in the black community, where you actually have to be assertive and aggressive to get basic respect from people. And unfortunately, in some relationships, it's like that too. Right? What I would say to the brothers, any brothers who are watching this and sisters who want to send this to brothers, here's what I would say. The big issue is that you guys don't really make a distinction between the women who are loud and the women who are sweet as sugar, because both get screwed over when it comes down to black men. I said something there, right? But it's the truth. You guys don't treat sweet, gentle, loving, nurturing women with any level of honor or respect higher than these other women. You really don't. You don't. You know, if you wanted to see some major changes happening in the dealings and with black women and how black women behave, then start finding and dating sweet, gentle, loving black women and treat them well, so they have something truly to brag about. Because what we do know is that oftentimes these marriages and relationships that are together, that stay together, usually those sisters went through a lot of drama, right? It was a lot of drama along the way. It was a lot of pain along the way. So she don't even get really bragging rights for being married. It's like you had to deal with all of that, and then now, after 15, 20 years, now he's catering to you. Nobody wants to go through that. So to bottom line it and to end it off here, my bottom line is what I'm saying is that my channel, well, let me say that after. My bottom line in saying all of this is that I don't encourage sisters to act loud and aggressive or anything like that. But I understand that there are reasons why sisters do that. It does get some results in place. And really, if black men truly are wanting for black women to shape up and act better, act right, then they will start showing respect, love, and honor and appreciation to good black women who act like good wives. And there are plenty of them out there, but they're just as single as the women who act ratchet. They're just as single. You can find sweet sisters who are single too. That sister on the video, she's sweet. She seems very sweet. She's pretty, all of that, but she don't have no man either. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just saying to you, start giving honor, start giving respect, start showing and proving that what you really want is that sister who's going to be well. Because it almost sounds like to me you want a woman like that so you can step on her, because that's kind of what happens. You step on her until she becomes one of these loud women that's like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Or she just tolerates that for years and then she has bitterness. You know, that's what happens, and that's what's been happening in the black community. And a lot of older women who've been married a long time, this is the kind of stuff that they say. They've been through a lot of drama. So we can change that, brothers. You can change that. And those other sisters who are loud and ratchet and everything else, they'll see. They'll be like, oh, that's what he likes. Oh, yeah, brother. Oh, they like more gentle stuff. Oh, they don't like all the fluffy eyebrow. Oh, maybe I tone it down a little bit. Oh, see, the proof is in the pudding. Results matters, right? Marry some of those sisters. Treat those sisters well so they have some bragging rights, so they have something to say. And I'm not talking about going to women outside of the race, because black women already know they cheat on them women. Right? There's a list of stories that are being created about brothers with these women who they get with. Those women, they you know, they stay and the men cheat on them. So nobody wants that either. All right? So that's it. My channel is about being your best feminine self, being beautiful inside and out. And that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Be beautiful inside and out. Smile. Yes, yes. There are times when your smile is not going to be there, but you be a radiant, beautiful woman inside and out. All right? That's it. And I will see you next time. Peace. Send it to someone who you think might like to hear it, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it as well. All right. That's it for now. Peace.